think the bottom of the barrel is visible right now. If people see that the bottom of the barrel is visible, the ICP gets clear pretty quickly.
Interesting.
Right? Not
Well,
exactly.
well, to be clear, you're not preaching, you're sharing
Okay.
what you learned
What I learned.
so that others don't make the same mistakes. Like that's how I always look at
I
it. So
hope-
don't feel bad about it. I guarantee the person listening right now, they're like, I have an ICP, but it's not selling. It's not working. So what's wrong? What am I missing?
One of the things that, we talked about, if I remember that one, is I had this messaging that particular 51, it matters to 51% of the people. And then right away you said, Amar, that means it doesn't matter to 49% of the people.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think?
You know what's really funny? Sometimes when I say those things, I'm like, this guy's going to think like, I can't believe I'm paying TK this much money for this. But you know what? The part of it is like the sounding board. It's like, I'm not an investor. I'm not a board member. And you literally pay me to tell you. So no, I do remember that.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, oh man, damn, that is so right.
What's top of mind for you for the next year?
Scaling.
Yeah.
We have repeated customers. Our customers' accounts are growing, starting with low 4 figures to almost 6 figures. Like these kind of growth that we are experiencing.
Yep.
My thing is now scaling. How do I scale? How do I train? What tools I utilize? So the scale, I am not context passing also. Like like how do I scale myself? Right.
Yeah.
And today means just one of my team member was able to onboard a brand new customer without me.
All
and
right.
I think
that's gonna feel so good.
Right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of SaaS and Scotch. Today I have a very special episode for you guys. We have the founder and CEO, Amar Amte of Pegbo. Amar, welcome to the show.
Hey, TK. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
So tell us a little bit around who you are. What does Pegbo do? Let's start right from the top, and then we'll dig into all the lessons you've learned in go-to-market and in building your SaaS business.
Yeah, hey, TK. Thanks for giving me a chance to be on the show. And Pegbo is like a LinkedIn for commercial trade contractors in the construction industry. And we are building a lot of co-workers to help construction procurement, sourcing, and engagement.
That's awesome. It feels like yesterday, but I know it's been a little bit of time. You joined the go-to-market program a little under a year. And right after you joined, you hit the ground. But we also met up. I was in Palo Alto. You came over, and we were in a cafe. We were just talking through the beginnings of like what you guys do, who you sell to, your pipeline, some of the challenges. We worked through a bunch of things. That was awesome.
Yeah.
What was going on in your world when you decided to take go-to-market seriously and just be like, we got to figure this out?
I was watching your video for a long time. I'm one of the subscribers. Right. And thanks for doing what you do. Means literally, it means a lot for people who are coming, who are not coming from the sales background. And means founder is outsider in everything. Like the 100 things that we have to learn when we start a company is mind blowing. And GTM means I come from the engineering background. GTM was not part of my right. So learning about it and really each and every topic that you were putting together, I think that was really interesting. What one of your video, as well as not one, I would say like many, but one in particular about the ICP, and really where in that video you were talking more about everyone says they know their ICP, right? And I'm like, oh my God, he's talking with me, right? And that's where I kind of, hey, you know what, TK, we should sync, and I would love to kind of learn more about you guys.
So give us kind of the overview. What's your journey been like over the past few months that you've been working on your go-to-market? Where did you start? Where are you at now? And then we can dig into your lessons learned in terms of go-to-market.
No, definitely, TK. And I'm a good student of yours. I can tell you that.
Awesome.
But it really means one aspect is on the journey means I really looked at everything that you have put together, right? From that 100 ideal list, right? The 100 golden...
Dream 100, yeah.
Dream 100, right? The GTM plan. Then the aspect of roadshow, right? What do you need for a roadshow? Literally means I daily I talk with my team. Okay, what about the top of the funnel? What about the ICP? What about the roadshow? How are things moving on the Dream 100, and the kind of structure that you have put together? Are these particular activities being taken care, and how is the funnel progressing? So that is where I see huge value, and I see means I derive a great value from it. That gives me a quantifiable way to track the progress and to work on the program that is being put together.
Let's double click on these, because like the pillars we follow always is ICP, manifesto, which is messaging. I remember when you and I were talking a lot around messaging.
Yeah.
And then there's a Broadway show, which is a consistent set of activities. And I'm not surprised when you mention ICP, because every founder that I talk to, there's founders I've worked with for multiple years, even at different inflection points of growth, ICP becomes top of mind. So let's maybe double click on ICP. You thought you had an ICP, then you went through the process. What were some aha moments that you can share with other founders as you went through your ICP exercise that you would tell another founder, or you would tell yourself, 9 months ago before we joined the program?
Oh man, there's so many things I miss. If only I could have told myself 9 months ago or 15 months ago. Ah, gosh, right? ICP is one of it, right? And what a lot of time founders are fighting hundreds of battles every day, right? Right from you being a founder.
Yeah.
Then sometimes what happens in this ICP becomes a nice soft corner that, I know who I'm selling to. Because somebody who said good words, oh, wow, this is an amazing thing, right? But I love this product. This is amazing, right? But literally, we were chasing yes from people who cannot say yes, right? And we were getting no from people who cannot say yes. And we were getting yes from people who do not have money, right? And we're like, oh, wow, this, that, right? And or budget means rightfully so, they're great. And so in this, what we figured out is who is the champion and who has authority to sign the check. In that journey is that's where we kind of started figuring out in our ICP that who has authority to sign, who are great champions. Without champion, because we are in construction industry, for us relationships are everything. Means I bet everything on relationship and do genuine relationship. And these champions are a great folks who are literally taking us to our ICP, who actually have a problem which is materially impactful, and they are willing to sign the dotted line.
This is something that I always wonder about. I don't know the answer. And maybe it's because it's fresher in your mind, you'll know the answer. Why is it that we think we have an ICP, but then you go through the process of truly doing the exercise, then you get actual traction, and then you actually have an ICP? What was the diff for you? Or because everyone's like, I kind of have an ICP. So for the founder that's walking around struggling with traction and thinks he or she has an ICP, what would you tell that person?
I think the bottom of the barrel is visible right now. If people see that the bottom of the barrel is visible, the ICP gets clear pretty quickly.
Interesting.
Right? I can share my case. I'm being in very fortunate position to keep on keeping on because of my prior career and whatnot. And so it's absolutely the kind of the length I can go to is mind blowing. And fortunate, be in a very fortunate position to do that. But that's where the bottom of the barrel sometimes become not that visible, right? But I kind of put this in the ground that, okay, that's the bottom of the barrel. What if you run out of money tomorrow? Who is going to sign that? How do you get to that zero cash flow or escape velocity? And I'm the first time founder, so I really don't want to preach because I'm the most, I tell my team, I'm the idiot person in the team. Literally, that's reality. Not exactly.
Well, to be clear, you're not preaching, you're sharing what you learned.
What I learned.
So that others don't make the same mistakes. That's how I always look at it. So don't feel bad about it. They want it. I guarantee the person listening right now, they're like, I have an ICP, but it's not selling. It's not working. So what's wrong? What am I missing?
Yeah.
Like they want to know from you what it means. What does the bottom of the barrel mean? What was the difference between you thinking having it and going through a process? They really want to know. You're not preaching. You're like, they literally want to know. That's why they're watching this video right now.
Yeah. No, the comfort zone, right? It's really important that how can people get out of that comfort zone and literally be real. We are in business. We are a VC-backed company, and really going after that. Are we and one of the founder has shared this with me that are you solving for vitamin or painkiller?
Yeah.
Right. If a painkiller, then that means they need to. Pain is urgent and important. That means they are signing the dotted line. Of course, enterprise closing cycle is closing cycle. I don't want to kind of even the baby takes 9 months, right? That kind. But I got super serious about who is my ICP, who does it matter to, and is it materially impactful, or it's a nice to have problem.
Yeah.
And then we started even pivoting and started adjusting the message. The whole funnel, the GTM also changed.
Yeah.
What ending to what method we are following, everything. But being real, nothing gets serious than saying that bottom of the barrel is right there.
Yeah. That's like when you say bottom of the barrel, you mean like the runway's ending. You might have to shut it all down. It might not work. Then you're like, maybe I don't have an ICP. That's why we're running out of cash. Like we should do something about that. Maybe I do need to do the actual exercise instead of just winging it.
Yeah. And the problem is if you look at and I am not in early 20s. So people who are starting, and if you look at Kader data, 30 to 40% of the founders are in my age group. And they are, if you really look, they're being in the valley. That means they have some firepower. Wow. So that can delay the coining of an ICP. That really, this is the ICP. This is the pain point. This is what we are going after.
It's so interesting because if you get that one wrong, nothing else matters. Interestingly, you can have the best messaging and the best marketing to sell steak. But if you are selling steak to vegans all day long, it won't matter. You might be a vegan or a vegetarian,
pork in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. No, that's exactly right. You could be in Dubai trying to sell pork. You have the best messaging for pork, best marketing for pork, but you're selling to the wrong people. That's how important ICP is. You mentioned messaging, so that's our second pillar we always talk about. And that was a lot of what you and I were talking about over coffee in Palo Alto.
Yeah.
What did you learn about that? What was your aha moments now that you broke through, you figured out how to scale?
One of the things that, we talked about, if I remember that one, is I had this messaging that particular 51, it matters to 51% of the people. And then right away you said, Amar, that means it doesn't matter to 49% of people.
I remember that. Yeah.
Now I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think that?
You know what's really funny? Sometimes when I say those things, I'm like, this guy's going to think I can't believe I'm paying TK this much money for this. But you know what? The part of it is the sounding board. It's I'm not an investor. I'm not a board member. And you literally pay me to tell you. So no, I do remember that.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, oh man, damn, that is so right. So I worked on changing some of that narrative.
That was the urgency message because we were talking about some people just started buying. It's taking forever. That was the problem. Yeah.
The messaging aspect, and the messaging aspect also the omni-channel messaging, right? And so the coining the right message, right value creation. Why is it urgent to be solved? Why is it important to be solved? And why does it matter to you, right? And delivering it through omni-channel, and offline and online, right? So we worked on that. But it's your thing that okay, how many people does it matter to? Because that messaging also, if I'm solving it, so the problem for 2 people in the company, nobody cares. Everyone says, oh, if this one person is working 12 hours, they will fight. Not a problem. Yeah. But if that messaging is, and to the ICP, and the messaging is going to more number of people, relevant to more number of people in the company, we worked on forming that message, finding those ICP, building that product for those people.
You went omni-channel. That's the third pillar of the Broadway show. You have the ICP, the message, then the Broadway show. From what I remember, you were already, given your ICP, you were already very offline heavy. Because it's like, there's construction people. And I know a lot of people watch the channel that have ICPs are like, TK, they're just like not hanging out in LinkedIn like a VP of marketing is. We have so many companies we work with that have a little bit harder to reach ICPs. So what have you learned in your Broadway show, in your road show with your team that's worked maybe not offline, but online for a hard to reach ICP?
See, in one of the template, you had a very, there's reaching to that ICP exercise.
Yeah.
Right? That how do you kind of reach to that particular ICP and really start asking the question. The whole template is pretty interesting. It's like, really, do you know this? Do you and then getting into all of that. Reaching to that ICP is very important. And where are those ICP hanging? In our case, yes, construction, but a lot of our ICP are on LinkedIn. They are not on Instagram. They are not on Twitter. Right? If you are selling a coding like tool, like a code generation tool, those guys are hanging out on Twitter. But other guys are not. I mean, software developers hate LinkedIn. They feel pride that, oh my God, we are not on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is garbage. But, in construction and all, unbelievable number of people on LinkedIn. Right? And how they're, because it's still people, it's right. So we found that as a place.
I'll share two things here and you can react to it. Tell me what you think. First one, LinkedIn. I get a lot of founders at first, they're like, oh, these people are not on LinkedIn. I'm like, listen, I appreciate that you're a unique snowflake, but LinkedIn is more popular than you think. Everybody wants to move up in their career, and LinkedIn's done a great job to say you should hang out here if you want to move up in your career. I feel like a lot more people are on LinkedIn than people realize or give it credit for.
That's so true. That's so true. Means LinkedIn is really interesting. People think a lot of time that it's just for job searching, right? But you're really, I find LinkedIn pretty helpful. Actually, I'm learning a lot from LinkedIn because a lot of this whole AI stuff. And of course, everyone is a guru these days of how Claude
with AI,
right? But it's interesting. It's like really, I learn a lot from
the second thing that stands out about what you said is the templates. I get a lot of founders that are like, oh, my startup's really unique. Like, I don't want a template. I don't want a cookie cutter thing. And I'm like, that's not what a template is. A template is like, here are the 80 things that just work really well, where the blanks need to be filled. And you and I look at it to figure out, is it right or not? And if you're missing something, you're skipping a step. And what's been crazy now, I started this program 6 years ago. Now you can actually take the go-to-market tracker. I don't know if you've done this. I've been doing this with a bunch of founders. You feed it into Claude Code, and Claude Code now knows your go-to-market strategy because it has the right context for your go-to-market strategy.
Interesting. I'll do that.
You don't even have to do anything fancy. Just do a screenshot of it and paste it in. And now it knows your actual go-to-market strategy. It's incredible. We're going to add an AI tool for that. But like, what's your reaction to the template thing? I never know how to answer that. It's like, I'm like, no, dude, it's not a cookie cutter. It's like, it's their framework. Like,
I try to keep myself very simple and coachable. Right, because know-it-all people are very hard to work with, and your customer also figures out you're hard to work with.
It's so true,
right? So more than know-it-all, if we can be learn-it-all, and really follow the supermarket approach. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I only eat In-N-Out double, by the way. Okay.
Wait, can we talk about it for a second? Like, so no beef, no pork, but double.
Double, all gets off on double.
It's funny. I'll share this. This past weekend, I was getting together with my best friend. We've been friends since like 7th grade. And my fiance was there. His wife was there. His kids were there. My other best friend was there. Huge gathering. And we were sharing the story of how we first met. And how we first met. One of my earliest memories of him from 7th grade, like a long time ago. I met him during lunch. And I literally saw him eating a cheeseburger because that's what they served in Tuesdays in the cafeteria. And I was like, hey, man, like, I thought you didn't eat beef. And he was literally like, no, on Tuesdays I do. Like,
no, double you can't say no to,
Whatever works. I get it.
Time to say no to double. So it's more like, going on that aspect of template, right? I follow the supermarket approach. If I don't like, I don't get, I don't throw a fit at Safeway that, oh my God, how can you have the meat? I don't eat, right? I was like, just escape that route, aisle and go to the next, right? So I like what I kind of like, the template, getting to the template, really figuring out like the ideal 100. To date, I am like, I know we both get busy, so we don't get time to sync too much. But to date, even if you see my history, my spreadsheet history today, you want to see I'm working on that sheet.
That's awesome.
On like going through, tracking on the Dream 100, working on that. So I follow certain sections of it. I was not able to go get all of those. Even the videos I was not, but hey, pick what you get. It's like,
that's totally right.
As a founder, it's not like, okay, you learn everything from one person. What you helped me, TK, and thank you, man, for that. Is like making it less scary and providing me a method that, Amar, just follow the course. This thing, follow it, trust the process, literally trust the process, go through it. A lot of time what happens is me, okay, let's say that, oh my God, it's so saturated, there's that. Oh, where are the customers? Like, but then you go through that spreadsheet, you say, oh, damn, 75% of these guys I didn't even contact. And how can I say? Right? So that the whole template, and it helped me stay real and keep things very simple. It's like a lot of, we complicate a lot of things. It's like the template helped me onboard people also, actually my team members, because it is simple enough. You're onboarding an SDR, an AE, or whoever, or a partnership person, or a RevOps, or whoever.
Or an AI agent.
Or
right? I knew you were going to try that.
Yeah. Oh, man. In construction, God bless you. Right? It helped me in kind of keeping it less scary. That, guys, this is what we're doing. No rocket science. Just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Just go through it. Let's just keep working. Right? We're keeping it very basic.
So what's next for you? Because this is a never-ending journey. So when you think about go-to-market, when you think about the company, given where you were early last year to now, what's top of mind for you for the next year?
Scaling.
Yeah.
We have repeated customers. Our customers' accounts are growing, starting with low 4 figures to almost 6 figures. Like these kind of growth that we are experiencing.
Yep.
My thing is now scaling. How do I scale? How do I train? What tools I utilize? So the scale, I am not context passing also. Like like how do I scale myself, right? And today means just one of my team member was able to onboard a brand new customer without me. And I think
that's gonna feel so good,
right?
Yeah.
So getting the meeting means doing the outreach, getting the meeting, showing the demo, identifying, locking the customer, the project, the pilot project, onboarding it, deciding, and right. So duplicating myself, making myself, like getting me out of all the jobs that I do, scaling.
That's one of the fun things about the phase you're in, because you were in like low ARR, you're at the mid ARR level, driving to the next stage. I think the first part is always a little bit of like, what do I need to do? But now is a little bit more about who do I need, like on the team, and how do I empower them, and what are the right people, and how do I keep it lean still and not overgrow? Like there's a little bit of like, how do you allocate the right number of humans in the right way phase right now?
Yeah. Literally, how do I allocate? How do I scale myself? And what do I use? What are the tools which are out there? And we are in such an amazing time that's mind-blowing. The kind of tools, the kind of signals. Claude has been a blessing to us.
Yeah.
Claude,
the 10x engineer in every founder's team right now.
Unbelievable. It's magic. The funnel monitoring and all is just mind-blowing what we are doing with it.
How has that been for you? How have you embraced AI? And your ICP, given who they are, is it different? Like, are they slower on AI just as much?
Yeah. Construction is a relationship business. I believe so are others, right? Certain touch points and the intent signals and all can be captured using AI, but relationship is where we are not throwing AI. We are not making phone calls using AI, right? Just to optimize our number. No, like, nobody wants to talk to I would not even give a meeting to an AI SDI. I tried many of those, but we are really utilizing to nurture our leads, but the end approach is ours only.
Yeah, it's so interesting. The LinkedIn feed would say that AI agents are winning, but humans seem to be winning when I talk one-on-one. It's like, no, dude, I still need it. Like the human touch helps.
At my previous work, right? We in 2017, 18, there was a thing that, don't call it AI. And we were the AI in pioneers, if we can call it. They were like, do not call AI, because people were making fun of it in 2017, 18. Call it, we are hiring data scientists, right? Those kind of thing. And now, from 2022 to 25, 26 now, is like this bombardment. 23 to 26, people are just getting bombarded with AI. So there's a fatigue on the AI front and whatnot, right? So people hear AI, they switch off. They are like, you know what, okay, there's this whole aspect of stop it, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So we are following an approach more like what Apple followed an approach with iPhone, where just the interface as well as the engagement, you don't see the complexity behind it. You don't care how the message is being sent. You just want that message to be simply sent, the task to be completed. How it is being done, how are we reaching out? We're keeping the whole technicality out of it.
You want the result.
You want
the middle. Yeah, that's correct. For the founder that's listening, they're kind of they've been watching videos. They're considering joining the go-to-market program. They're maybe where you were when you decided to join, and they want to get to where you are now. Like, what would you tell that person that's like kind of on the edge, kind of considering it and like watching this video and watching you?
You will need it. One, because you can hire an eng lead as an early stage founder. You can hire an eng lead to offboard the eng. But as a founder, you are the one who are selling, right? And now you can hire a product guy to do the product work. You can hire an eng CTO or your co-founder, right? But sales is a founder's responsibility. And if you're not coming, like you can't say like, I'm not good at sales, so let me hire a VP of sales or something. I can tell you, it's a disaster, right? Now this GTM programs and not like program, but GTM, the structure that means I was able to utilize. Means I was not aware of it, right? And it just made it a little scary, less scary for me. Unknowns were there. It was a very nice program. So sales will be and is the highest priority of a founder. And through this program, I was able to utilize it. I believe, I hope you guys also would see the structure, like how the structure can help, because you cannot go to your dev or UX or product guy or your marketing guy to do the sales for you. The founder has to take it themselves, and you work in your room alone to put that program together. And then when the structure is with you and someone is there, the community is there to be with you, I think it's just helpful. That's awesome. That becomes your invisible force.
That's good advice. That's good advice. I come from an engineering background, and I learned that you got to get good at this in order to have a successful company. That's just like the only way. Elon Musk would probably rather be building rockets than being out there trying to generate demand. Like he learned how to get great at that. That's really good advice. Amar, what's next for you as you look at scaling the company, as you look at the next frontier with AI? Like, what are you pumped about as you look ahead?
For me, one is means Pegbo. That's it. And that's what I see. We have a long way to go. And the pathway ahead for us is absolutely mind-blowing. We are starting with we are entering the market with certain things, but I see is a long pathway ahead for us, right? So that's there. On the AI front, I'm absolutely positive about AI because in my undergrad, I did AI. So that's how being in this from...
You're like a legit AI engineer.
Yeah, right. 2001, 2002, I was doing AI. Even my master's, I did AI. So, loved AI. I see everything is possible with AI. Yeah. That's the thing. You dream about it, it's possible. Nothing is impossible with AI. Just the way with Google Maps, there's no destination which is unknown.
Yeah.
Because, right, you put an address and that's it. You don't worry about the route. And that is what AI is for me. Nothing is impossible.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, thank you for sharing your journey. I really appreciate you doing this because I think that it'll help a lot of founders, particularly the founder that are like us, like you and me, where maybe they have an engineering background and they look at sales and marketing a certain way. And it's like, no, this is just like anything else. Like you get a framework, it's easier to implement. And so I'm glad you shared your wisdom and I'm so excited for you. I'm grateful that the program was able to help you even in a small way. And I'm really excited for your success, like the progress you've made. It's awesome. I'll say one thing. I talked to a lot of founders and there's a huge difference between the founder that's still in the idea maze versus the founder that's like, I know my ICP, I know my Dream 100, I know what to say to them. And you have that certainty in your voice, which I'm so excited about. Like I'm pumped for you and the entire team.
Yeah, worked on it, stay to the core. I worked on it.
You did.
I do appreciate TK for what you do. Keep it coming. Literally, I do see it, watch it, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where can people get in touch and learn more about Pegbo and where they can get in touch with you?
Pegbo.com. That's where you can learn more about Pegbo.
Awesome. And obviously LinkedIn, because Amar's on LinkedIn as well, because his ICP is on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We'll link to both in the description. Thank you again for joining today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, TK.